Hey guys, GameBall06 here, and back with another video. In this video, I'm showcasing the speed paint of Hinata Hyuga in the snow. I'm sure some of you know that this isn't the first time I've drawn Hinata Hyuga, so let me showcase what I've done so far. From left to right, we have my first artwork of her, which was part of my 6 fan arts challenge from 2020, a full Hinata piece from 2021, a portrait from last year, 2022. This was an intentional outside of 2019 when I first started digital art. I've drawn Hinata at least once every year. You guys can look and see this is how much my art has changed over the years, and let's just quickly talk about the pieces as a whole. So out of all of these, I think the 2021 version is my favorite. I think in this one, I was going for a more JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, Diamonds Unbreakable art style, and I think I pulled it off pretty well. It's definitely different from my general style back in 2021, and it's definitely different from the Naruto Shippuden art style. So I think I definitely changed up the style a little bit from 2020. At the time, I was honestly very proud of what I did there, and I was also proud of the Goku from the 6 Fan Arts Challenge. But like looking back now, proportionally speaking, her head's way too big. Her body is just too small, or her head is just too big, and the clothing just absolutely awful. The details, in comparison to the kind of stuff I do now, it just wasn't it. But enough of that. This is what you guys will see in the process of, but first we gotta start with the sketch. This sketch was partially inspired by episode 480 of Naruto Shippuden where Naruto meets Hinata by herself in the snow. Maybe I'll make another drawing with Naruto standing in the snow as a part 2 and then have the two of them meet up in a part 3 drawing, but for now, let's get to the sketch. And to be honest, when I say it's inspired by 480, I have a vague idea. I thought that in the scene which you guys are seeing the picture of, or you guys already saw the picture of, I thought that Hinata was wearing some kind of scarf and had like snow gear, but apparently that was only Naruto. But I do know I was thinking of the two of them as kids, which is why I know the general inspiration was from episode 480 specifically. So going back to this piece, I knew I wanted Hinata to wear some appropriate clothing for the snow, but I didn't have any concrete ideas. So I got some reference as I usually do and improvised where I felt I needed to. Once you have enough of the visual library, as Sam Does Arts will refer to, you can draw whatever you picture. The one thing I knew I wanted in this drawing was Hinata wearing a scarf that would cover the bottom half of her face, so that way you only see the top half of her face, because I thought that would look very cute, and it shows her more timid and innocent side from her past that she still holds on to. Doing the background was extremely simple. I used some reference of a snowy forest and some knowledge from some horror studies that I've done off camera to make a simplified background. To create the snow, I used the Sputtering 1 brush, which can be found in the basic category of the brushes in Ibis Paint. But you can also do this by using any round brush, and you tap on various parts of the canvas to add dots, and then you change the brush size to vary the size of these dots. I blurred the snow in the background to give it some motion and to put more focus on Hinata, and I added some snow in front of her to keep things more dynamic, despite the fact that in this drawing Hinata is standing completely still. I made some slight adjustments to Hinata because I believe I made her arms a little too long in the initial sketch, so to fix that I made her hand visible by shortening the arm. Generally when I draw the side view I don't draw both hands unless I want them to both be doing something. Most side references that I look at only showcase the arm and leg of whatever side is being shown, so in this case the right side. I'm not sure if anyone cares, but let me briefly explain how I go about my line art, at least in my own style. I use this pen here in which the edges are thinner, and I set the dynamics for the thickness of the pen to speed 100%. What this means is the faster I draw a line, the thicker it will be. To be honest, I tend not to slow it down when I'm doing line art, and instead I use this eraser here to vary the thicknesses of the lines. The difference here is that the eraser doesn't have any dynamic settings, it's just a regular eraser that I set to the same size as the line art. So for the line art I tend to do 1.5, so that means the eraser I have it on 1.5. The only time that I vary this is if I'm trying to draw in a different style that requires a thinner or a thicker brush. Throughout my art journey, trying to analyze certain styles, I've come to this method of doing my line art. As I do my line art, I will switch between the pen and eraser to vary the thickness across the piece. When I do artwork of different styles, I'll use a standard line brush to do the lines with one thickness, and then I'll add thickness in certain places if allowed. So essentially I'll do all the line art with one thickness, then I'll use the line art brush, the drawing pen that I showed you guys on screen, and then I'll add thickness in the places that I think are needed to replicate the style appropriately. To match the background but still stand out at the same time, I copied the flats layer and turned it a dark blue. I then put it on multiply and adjusted the percentage until I was satisfied. Afterward I did the same hard light and overlay method that I mentioned in the last video. And that's it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or enjoyed my overall content, please hit the like button and subscribe. Also, if you want to keep up with what I'm doing off camera, check out my Discord, Newgrounds, Twitter or X, DeviantArt, and anywhere I am on the internet. All the links should be in the description. Deuces.